You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're
Hey,
great.
Derek.
Are we gonna have nicknames for each other each episode?
You're
I think
great.
we should.
You're great.
I'm Underboob. That's the original. That's the OG. So you're Nev Nips. I'm Underboob.
Oh wait, let's not give away the studio production value we have here.
It's pretty low.
You're probably going to sing anyway, so you might as well just use
That's
that
a
part,
good
you
point.
know? You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You are great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
Welcome to the Hug Life podcast. I am Monica, NPR voice, Nevi.
Ooh, and I am Mike, radio broadcast Coletta.
Ooh, hi.
Broadcast
Ow.
Coletta.
Look at this broadcast. They say to people.
The
Silly
word
joke.
broad. How stupid. Anyways.
It really is so dumb.
Yeah. Well, this is our podcast. Sorry, we've been on it was a hiatus.
I think that
Sure.
hiatus is a good way to put it for sure.
A lot of
yeah.
people say hiatus, and I think it's just because they are not doing
You know
whatever.
what? I love the term as far as like taking long breaks term. I love sabbatical.
Oh, sabbatical's good.
Mm-hmm. That's a good name.
Yeah, that is good. Anyways, we were on a bit more of a hiatus, sabbatical, whatever you want to call it, because I was getting married. So thank you for your patience. We're back. And don't worry, we'll have some Patreon episodes. I think we're behind on some Patreon.
We are behind on some Patreons.
Or maybe just one is behind, but still.
We'll take care of it.
We still care
fine.
about you.
We still think about you all the time.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of that, you can join our Patreon if you're not already on there and get those bonus episodes where we give you all the hot goss and name names. We don't hold back in there. And that's patreon.com/huglifepodcast.
That's right. Patreon.
No question mark at the end.
Podcast.
Okay, I nailed it. That's good. Sorry, we normally don't start with that, but I got off topic. Would you like to plug some of your shows coming up, Michael?
Well, the funny thing is, so I've been getting booked. This is kind of a weird problem to have. Last minute. I've been busy, but I have nothing in my calendar, and I'm just going to keep trusting that I get booked the week of. I don't know what this is, but this has been the last month of my life.
What's your...
So the only show I have that's
what's your calendar so
coming up
can
recent.
Check it up.
Yeah, ColettaComedy.com. I've redone my website. It looks better
every week, apparently.
But
See
the only thing I have that is cemented in stone coming up relatively soon is on November 19th. It's 3 weeks away. Tyler Smith and I are bringing back Fellowship of Convenience, which is a D&D themed show that NAMM did.
Some sort of nerd show.
It's some real hardcore nerd shit, and I will be DMing, so it's going to get even nerdier. It's at the Halcyon Brewery in Greenwood, which is remember Naked City?
Yeah,
that's Naked City. It's the new brewery.
Really? Okay, all right. That's a good space, actually. I always like shows there.
So we're gonna do this D&D show again.
Well,
it's been
good.
So long.
Does that mean you'll be there for the secret show?
Yeah.
There you go. If you haven't,
I will be there for the secret show. I always forget to just mention
Mike will
it,
be there. I mean, that's okay. I won't be there, so you have to be.
I will be hosting
you
it.
don't have to.
It will be a good time. I will host it. It's gonna be fun. And I had a really great time. Last month was fucking fire.
Man, they've been
really
so good
fun.
lately. I don't even know. I mean, I don't want to pat ourselves on the back too much, but we've been fucking crushing it. And
we've just been out here in these streets.
Great audiences.
24/7.
Great audiences, but also fucking killer drop-ins.
Yeah, we have had killer drop-ins to the point where I'm like, you guys are getting this show for $7 fucking.
It does make you go in the back and go, you fucking better appreciate this. Yes, anyways, if you haven't been to a secret show, you better get in there. You don't want to miss out. For me, excuse me, this weekend, the 28th and 29th, I'll be in Louisville, Kentucky at Planet of the Tapes.
Louisville.
I will be headlining there. Okay. Then November 3rd, which is a Thursday, I will be in Los Angeles, California at Third Wheel Hollywood. We're going to do a little Monica Nevi and Friends again. I'm going to have Mike Malloy, Aaron Marsh, and other people TBD.
I love both of those people a lot.
It's we're putting on good shows around here. That Friday and Saturday, I am at Mic Drop Comedy Club in San Diego, headlining the Gold Room. So if you see tickets for Christopher Titus, that's not me.
Are you ready?
There's be one for Monica Nevi.
I did that room.
Yeah.
I did the main room and the Gold Room with Jay Hollingsworth. And I have to say, the Gold Room is kind of perfect. It's like tiny and intimate and awesome. And there's like
Yeah.
30 seats
Well,
and it's
we had-
great.
Do you remember that we had done a gateway show there? Or
Yeah,
something?
because that
Yeah.
used to be the Comedy Palace.
Yeah,
Right?
so we had been in that room before. I don't know. I'm sure they've changed it around a little bit, but yeah, that's ideal, I think, for me at the
They've
moment.
completely redecorated it. It looks way better. It's a good club. It's nice. It's really
Good.
nice.
Now I'm excited. And then you know, as I'm listing these things, if you're there, great, please buy tickets. Or if you have friends that live there, that would be good. November 7th, which is a Monday, I'm in Portland at the Laugh Basement. It's going to be a good one.
It's the basement of laughs.
Yes, then I finally get a little bit of a break. Then
Some people have murder basements. They have laugh basements.
Laugh Basement. It's going down basement.
It's going down for real.
And then last two that I'll plug. November 17th, I will be at Stand Up New York in New York City, me and Alvin Williams. And then that Saturday, which this is going to be fun travel week, I will be in Moscow, Idaho on the 19th.
You know, the old New York to Moscow is a pretty common
really
run
not a
for
direct
Canadians.
flight that I've found, but
that'd be so fucking weird if
it
it's
would
like
be,
New
like,
York
we go to
City,
Seattle or New York. That's it.
New York City to Moscow, Idaho.
But there you go. But keep up with our calendars, our social media, whatever. I'm at Monica Nevi, at me Coletta, at Hug Life Podcast. If you'd like to look at old pictures of animals.
Well, I have a big news. I don't know if I showed you or not, but I completely redid the Hug Life website.
Nice.
HugLifePodcast.com is completely independent. It's run by
Should
us.
I?
It's no longer on WordPress. I like it better. I think it's better.
Let's
It also
check it out.
auto loads the all of the episodes, so I don't have to update that part of it. It's just like very
Ooh.
automatic, very easy, very simple, very crisp.
Yeah. It's
And it
easy
has
to-
all our support links: Amazon, Patreon, Instagram, your website, my website. It's all there.
Oh, yeah.
So
Look at
you
that.
can,
That's nice.
if you click on the Amazon banner, that's just the link that gives us a little bit of money. If you click on Patreon, it's there. Monica, Mike, and then our Instagram account. It's all at huglifepodcast.com. So we don't
What
even
a-
need to plug a bunch of other stuff anymore. We can just say
Just
huglifepodcast.com.
huglifepodcast.com. You can find it all there under support the podcast. Is that what it said? I forgot already.
It says support the podcast.
Well, good. Then last thing I'm going to plug. Sorry. My special finally came out. I know we've been talking about it, but honestly, we haven't done an episode since I knew when it was going to come out. It came out on October 16th, which I don't even know, 2 weeks ago. Not quite 2 weeks ago. On YouTube, just on YouTube, Helium Comedy Studios YouTube channel. It's called Big Stepdad Energy. Go watch it. More views is good. It's doing well, but more views is good.
Views
Thank you.
are us. That's the name of our podcast. Views
it?
are us. Do you want that just to be
Okay.
the charity this week? I know it's not charity,
Oh,
but can we
sure.
just make that the charity that you should watch your special?
Yeah, yeah, that's totally fine. I'll save this other one. That's
'Cause we-
helpful.
Well, do you have any lexical embraces?
I did. Ooh, what is it? I don't remember.
I have a couple.
Okay, do it.
First thing, when something you've been working really hard on finally goes your way.
Okay, nice. I like that a
Just
lot.
that feeling of like, oh, I've been working on this forever. Finally, it's coming to fruition. And it could be a creative endeavor. In this case, it was me finally getting a new job away from
Yeah.
education. But it's
There you
like,
go.
it's just, it's exciting, you know?
Yeah, it feels good. Well, and that's when everyone always, oh, don't give up. It's right around the corner, you know, and sometimes you don't think that. And so Mike's telling you it is.
It's
right
around
the
that corner. Hey, you know that corner over there? Go around it. It's probably
It's good.
behind there.
Yeah, there's probably a job over there.
There's probably a job over there or $1 million.
It's a hand job. Anyways.
Oh
That's
man,
exciting.
do I
Okay.
have to give out HJs for the podcast again?
That's
This is
your
the-
new job.
This is my least favorite job. This is also
Definitely
my least
not
favorite
in
running joke on the
education.
podcast.
We haven't said it in a long time. So
I know. That's why I brought it back. I figured it's
Mm.
important.
beautiful. Thank you for
Retro.
doing it. Because normally it was me who had to bring it up. But
There was a couple old jokes. It was me. Was it blowing people or giving hand jobs to people for
blowing
something?
people usually. But
And
you know,
then
whatever
and
they're
then my deep voice impression of you. You know, like-
yes, which is
Uh,
fine.
You know what else? We had a recent episode. It was this term, God Sizzler. That was the title of episode 52. Like, we're all here in God Sizzler.
That's hilarious.
Remember that running joke? That was fun.
This is God Sizzler. The,
What's
just the
I
Earth
think
is God Sizzler.
I enjoyed the hug flexions more than anyone else did because it reminded
Were
me
you
of all
listening
these
to them?
things. No, I just saw the
Oh,
titles and
you
I
just see the
remembered all
titles.
this shit.
I
and I
had
was
seen
like,
some of the titles too because they just pop up on my
like
Apple podcast. Some of them
Bagel
played a
Gal
little bit.
with Bree
Yeah,
Pruitt.
we have a
God
fun
Sizzler.
time. Honestly, finding the title is a fun part of this show.
Pee in Your Cast. Wow, what a great name.
Yeah, like
Also,
podcast,
the
P-cast.
Hands team. That was Courtney Shane Williams
That
episode.
one, yes,
And
that
that
one.
one, I'm like, oh, these are fun. These are fun. So
And we had good guests, you know.
we did have good guests. We still could. We just haven't had guests in a long time
Oh,
because
I
it's been
didn't-
so
well,
hard to
'cause we've
coordinate
been-
everything.
Doing it remotely.
Oh, but you know what? It kind of works better and it's saving the planet probably. We're not
Yeah,
driving,
that's
right?
true.
It's better that way.
Less driving. Fuck, I forgot I was supposed to be thinking of a lexical.
I have a second lexical embrace. You want me to just do mine?
Sure, yeah.
Advances. This is a really weird, obscure one. Advances in modern dentistry.
Okay.
My dentist,
I
who's
went to
new.
the
I had a
dentist
new
today.
dentist. Actually, I went
I
there
need
2
to
weeks
get in.
ago,
Mhm.
and he's really great. I'll recommend if you want, but it's all the way up in Des Moines. Okay.
I need to
But
Tacoma
he went on a rant about how great it is, how good dentistry's got because of material science. And this sounds boring as fuck. I was all in. I was all
Yeah.
about it. Mostly because my mouth was open and he had gauze in there, but
Yeah.
still I was all in.
What were you do just a checkup
He
or did
fixed
we
my
have
front tooth. I chipped it and it's
Oh
like
shit.
because I
Well,
have fillings in the front to fix
I have
it.
some like chipped situations going on in the back. Like it happened during COVID. Like I don't know if a filling popped out or whatever, but it's like odd and I definitely need to get it. But I've been like worried that I'm gonna have a root canal or something. So maybe there's advances in that regard.
Probably. I mean, his big diatribe was like, so what they do is they put this epoxy on your tooth and then they mold it
Mhm.
and then they UV light it, and the UV light is what hardens it.
Mm.
And that's like not super recent, but relatively recent technology. It used
Yeah.
to be like you would go to the dentist and they do like essentially 2-part epoxy like that you use for hardware.
Oh,
and they
God.
do it on your
In
teeth
your mouth.
and then sand it down. And this one, he's like, we have all the time in the world to like mold it to your tooth and then just sand it down. And I'm like, oh, that's just interesting. I never thought about that. So
Well, you know what? I like that he's excited about his job. That's good.
this dude is like so
He's
pumped,
into it.
and he's been doing dentistry since the 70s, and he's a fucking cool
well, yeah,
guy.
then he
I tell you that
definitely
much.
knows. He's like, yeah, this is way
He knows his
better
shit.
than,
Yeah.
uh,
And he's in a
yeah.
new office building, so it's kind of nice.
Okay, I'm gonna do a lexical embrace. That's the opposite of what you just said.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Gummy candies. I have been really getting into the gummy candies lately. I used to I think maybe I had a cavity at some point that really bothered me, so I never ate gummy candies. Not the issue now. And so I've been really skipping the chocolates for the Halloween season and going with the gummy candies.
I had, because I was hanging out with our friend Jay Hollingsworth, who loves candy,
Mhm.
and he introduced me to Jolly Rancher gummies. Have you had these?
Yeah, you never,
They
yeah,
are
I've definitely had those. Those are
crazy good.
delicious. I
Love
always
those.
liked the Lifesaver gummies.
Those are good
Delicious, right? So I feel like whatever a hard candy company decides to do a gummy version, delicious.
too. What is your stance on Haribo?
I'm a fan.
I'm a big fan of Haribo as well. I love their twin snakes.
Yes, twin snakes are, I think, the best gummy candy.
Two
available.
snakes, ass to ass, tear them apart, eat them.
One is sweet, one is sour,
Mm-hmm.
like all Siamese twins.
That's right. Everyone knows that. That's
Everyone
just
knows
science.
that Siamese snakes always one
Mm-hmm.
more
Facts.
sour than the other.
Totally
Uh,
true. Everything that you're saying right now is the truth. No exceptions.
Even their gummy bears, I prefer. I think they're, yeah, we had because we got one of those, mixed packs of different gummies with like there was Sour Patch Kids, Swedish Fish, and then Haribo. There was a couple different Haribo things, and it was like they had made ghosts, little gummy ghosts.
Ghosts.
Delicious.
Oh shit, Scoob. Are you
Mhm.
excited for the spooky season? Speaking of which, because I'm kind of into it this year. I don't know why.
I would say I'm more into it. Do you want to know what our Halloween costume is?
Yes, of course I do.
We will be trick or treating with a child. He's ours. We're allowed to. He wanted to be Ash Ketchum.
Are you gonna be Pokemon?
Yeah, so Aaron and I are Pikachu and Charmander.
Which one's which? Who's Charmander?
I'm
Who's-
Charmander.
Solid.
And I got a full tail with like a It's like a onesie, but then it's got a full tail with the fire on it.
Do you know Charmander's episode of Pokemon the animated series is one of the saddest episodes of television ever written?
I don't know that. Does he die?
Tangent time. So the
She
episode
died,
opens with Ash
they
Ketchum,
die.
Misty, Brock all walking down the road, right?
As they do.
It's raining outside.
Okay.
They have their Pokemon. Charmander is on a rock with his tail extinguishing in the rain, looking super sad. And what you
I've
learn is
seen this.
the trainer abandoned him and said, "Get out of here." And the Charmander's it's about animal cruelty. It's a Pokemon episode about animal cruelty. And it's so intense and sad. It's like
Does
the dog
somebody
episode of Futurama. It's
save
killer.
him?
Yeah, they save him, obviously. He
Okay.
becomes his Charmander, but it's super fucking sad. And then the kid, they see him at the Pokemon Center, and he's a fucking dick.
No, this is good. Well, yeah, obviously.
I hate this kid. I'm so mad now. I'm fired up.
Yeah, you really held on to this. His face
I've
is
held
red,
on to it
everybody.
I've held on to it my whole life. I'm mad about
Very
it.
upset. And this is a perfect time to bring it up. Well, we were having some costume decision issues because of which Pokemon I wanted to be.
Charmander's the best choice.
Thank you. Well, and now it makes sense with the story too. But what was happening was he wanted us to be Pikachu and Squirtle. I
Mhm.
could not find a Squirtle that we could get in time. I wasn't opposed to it. But my other suggestion was Snorlax because I think that Pokemon's hilarious.
That is a dope Pokemon.
But he was not into it because that wouldn't be a Pokemon that Ash had. He would have to be a different trainer. I don't know. But, we were like, dude, it's just whatever. We're just going to stand behind you. It's not a big deal.
I
But
don't want
then
to say I'm
I
copying.
found a Charmander, so it worked out.
I'm not copying your costume, but I'm 100% looking at Pokemon onesies right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's
The
a lot of
problem
adult ones.
is
You
the
should get a
size.
Snorlax. Come
I know.
on.
I'm looking at Gengar right now, and this is pretty cool.
There's a lot of them.
Where
There's
is
also
the-
like these, like, it's not a onesie, but it's like a blanket sweatshirt thing. That is a bunch of different Pokemon ones.
Okay,
I almost got that one
Snorlax
first.
costume on Amazon. I want to go as I want to kind of do Halloween up at school this year because I am never coming back there.
I
And
was gonna say, how much longer do you have it in this certain situation?
I have this week and then next week, and then I'm done.
Okay.
A flying
2-week
squirrel
notice,
costume? What
friends.
the fuck? This is oh, that's a good Snorlax. Unisex, one piece, adult pajamas, sleepwear, and it's Snorlax.
Yeah, I found a few. Like
Select
onesies that are
size, the
Snorlax.
biggest fucking size you got. Just give me the biggest.
Give me the whole thing. Is it gonna rain that day? Is the question? Because what if we have to reenact that episode of Pokemon where my tail gets extinguished?
Oh man, it wouldn't deliver until after
Yeah.
Halloween.
Now might be a tough time to. You could maybe
Fuck.
go to one of those spirit stores, but
Spirit Halloween stores and say, what
Excuse
kind of
me.
adult onesies do you have? Looking for your
It was
finest
supposed
adult
to rain.
onesie.
on Monday. But
Here's one of those
not as
inflatable
much.
T-Rex costumes. That's pretty cool.
I mean, those are very popular.
You know, I'm not opposed of being a hack Halloween costume. I'll do anything.
Yeah,
Although
okay.
Katie and I could do our original couple's costume idea of her being Miss Frizzle and me being the bus. I haven't done that before.
Oh yeah.
I just need to find a
Ooh,
big
that's
box and
naughty
paint it
'cause
yellow.
She rides the bus.
Hey, I know that's kind of actually. I just realized we can't do that at school. That's mildly
Mhm.
sexual.
Or you could be what's the lizard's name?
Liz, she has a Liz the lizard
Oh,
already. But
got it
okay,
as, like,
hold
part of the
on.
costume.
Lizard onesie,
There you go.
lizard onesie adults. This is what people wanted. They wanted me to go shopping during our podcast.
Yes, and see what When
Okay.
we read some reviews.
There's some pretty great lizard onesies right now. Okay, I don't know. I'll think about it. Anyway,
Okay. Anyway, sorry that all sparked from gummy candies. So
you know,
there you
I
go.
love a good.
If you were stressed today, if you were thinking about anything else, I'm very positive we just distracted you from it.
We
So you're welcome.
completely destroyed that notion. All right,
Yeah.
so we just need to do a little catch up. So how
Yeah.
about we start with the reason we went on hiatus, sabbatical.
Yeah. Did you say you had good news or no?
Oh, I did have good news. Do you want to do that?
Did you want to do that? I figured we'd do that.
I completely
first,
forgot. Yeah,
and
let's do
then-
that. Let's do that.
Well, you prepared, so we might as
I'm
well
ready. I'm ready.
reward you for it. Hey guys, good news.
Hi, welcome to Good News. We'll be back, Coletta, coming at you live from Burien, Washington.
You just give your address.
address is my social security number.
Yeah.
The cutting edge cellular therapies aiming to ease America's organ shortage. So this is a story from Engadget, very, very techie website about how, like livers and kidneys are super hard to come by. You know about that, right?
Yes, I do know about
They're like
that.
super, like you can't find a liver or kidney and you might pass away. Okay. So
Right.
what's
Waiting for one.
crazy is they're on the cusp of making it so that they do not, like, they're not going to grow you a liver. What they're going to do is put good cells into your existing liver to heal it
Okay.
up and regenerate it faster.
That
So
actually,
it's called extracellular vesicle based therapies is what they're called. And I just think it's really cool. We're on the verge. We're on the verge of making it. So it would essentially be your liver transplant, quote unquote, would really be like a liver rejuvenation. And it would be an outpatient procedure where you just go in and they just do it
oh,
and you leave.
that's easy. That's great.
Right? Isn't that cool?
That's super cool. I mean, and yeah.
I don't know. I love techie stories about the future and being cool. And that's what I chose. It's not a very, I mean, we had a lot of bummers in the uplifting news section today. It was a lot of like, this good thing happened because someone had cancer.
Right, yeah.
The classic issue with these good news stories. But I
You
think
know,
this is good.
I think your dentistry situation could even be a good news story in itself. So this is kind of in that same vein, medical technological advances.
Technological, medical, technological stuff. Yeah.
That's great. Great news. And I've heard that about other things. This is a weird, like, like a fecal transplant is.
Oh, well, I'm very familiar with what a fecal transplant is.
So that's
not
the
very
same...
familiar, but I guess familiar.
Yeah, you're like, I do it all the time.
I've been fecal transplanting for every year on the year.
I mean, some people might need to. No, but basically it's the same idea that you put good bacteria in where bad bacteria is and it kind of pushes it out. Or, makes
the
good.
poopy better.
Yeah. But so that you could potentially try those things with, not with poop, but with, other good cells.
I love it. That's true. This is
exciting stuff. Okay.
All right. So now, wait, you got to end it.
Hey guys, that was good news. All right. So, look, it has been a little hiatus, so
it's been a while.
Been a while.
All right.
Yeah.
So I was there, first of all. No, not to brag.
Yeah.
But I was
my
there.
Wedding?
Your wedding was dope. One.
Yeah.
The venue was sick. I liked the venue a lot. It was very open and warehousey, and I thought that was good for like a wedding in this stature, this style. Fit perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Started out strong with a cart full of beer. Important.
Yes. So instead of what is it? Flower girl, and
you had a beer wagon.
We had a beer boy and a beer girl, and so my cousins came out and handed out Bud Lights and.
I had a Bud Light because I figured that was what you would choose. So I chose what I thought you would choose. I was like, Katie, I'm getting a Bud Light because it's time.
That's funny. Well, we had a lot of we were trying to figure out how many to buy and stuff like that. And then we were like, okay, I think a lot of people wouldn't, these people wouldn't grab one or whatever. But everybody thought it was so funny. They were just grabbing them anyways. So it's we ran out by the end of the rows, it turns out. But
well, you got to get them, you got to do it.
Yeah, why not?
I thought it was a great choice. I liked your love and everything's fine. But Sarah Colonna did a great job being the officiant. She was very funny, but not overbearingly so.
After is that she memorized all that.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize it until I was like, oh yeah, she wasn't reading it.
You know why? Because she's a fucking pro. Okay.
She's a pro, and it was odd because I felt like we were convincing her to do it. If you don't know who Sarah Colonna is, she's a well-known stand-up comedian, has been doing stand-up for a long time, was on Chelsea Lately, one of their head writers for a long time, and is also married to former Seahawks punter John Ryan. So people in Seattle definitely like her and know who she is.
Yeah.
So she is a friend. And so when we asked her, we were kind of like, this is a shot in the dark. We'll see. And she was like, yeah. And then she was like, I've never done it before. And so she was kind of actually nervous about it, but she crushed it and was hung out and stuff, which was awesome. And
yeah, it was great.
It was really funny, and it was good because I've never been more stressed leading up to that, which isn't a great, hey, good luck with your wedding planning, Mike. It wasn't even the planning. I don't know. I was just so anxious, and had like severe stomach issues, which I'm actually having to go to the doctor for. So we'll see if it is more of an infection than it was like a stress thing. But yeah, it was just that the anxiety on that day and leading up to it was really bad for me. And so having her have it funny when we were up there was helpful just in general, like I kind of get it now why people have asked me to do it because I'm fucking hilarious. No, just because it's like you don't want it to be serious, then it makes it more stress, I feel like.
No one's asked me to do it, which makes me feel question. What's funny is Aaron Engel was like, I thought you'd be officiating. And I'm like, no.
That's funny. I mean, that's funny. I mean, not that, because there was we had talked about like, okay, we felt like choosing another one of our friend comedians would be, like, oh, if we choose you instead of Cameron or Cameron instead of you, or whatever, like it was
that's
just
kind of what my thought was. It's like an if for other scenario, it's like because comedians are automatically weird, so it's gonna make us think in our own heads.
Yeah. So then we like kind of like, okay, well, that's who would be, and we kind of, I mean, you heard the story, but like the first time Aaron and I hung out, Sarah's book was on the table, and it was like a conversation starter for us about how much we liked her and how nice she was and stuff. So it was kind of like a part of our relationship story too. So we were like, okay, this would be the ultimate person to get. We'll ask. And then she said yes. So we didn't really have to think too much about it. But
yeah, that makes sense. See, you don't want to like make it weird. It's just
I think it's hard to pick. A lot of people pick their friends that aren't even comedians. They just pick a friend, and I think it causes awkward situations within the friend group a lot.
I'm already nervous about it. So mine is going to be my brother, obviously, and then Brian and Pat, my two bestest friends for so long. Too, and I'm not picking any comics.
Yeah.
No comics.
If you do that, I think that's the way to go, because then it's like nobody can even really question. I mean, that's why we picked one person and our brothers, and that's the only people who were up there. And then we picked a comic. Like, I don't even think any of the comedians that were there could have second guessed the fact that Sarah, like, they were excited that Sarah was there.
We all make sense. I was like, oh, that tracks. Yeah. I just thought it was funny.
Pick people that are undeniable, then it's like, oh yeah, that's fine.
Aaron's just like, why aren't you an officiant? I'm like, we're podcast co-hosts.
Well, that's not all we are. We are good friends.
We're good friends, but also it's like I get it. You wanna pick it's not like I wrote a book on a table while you guys.
That's fair. That is fair.
If it would be a picture book.
Yeah.
The Dungeons and Dragons Player's Handbook.
That's funny that she had said that. Anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Not that that's a crazy thought, but
no, of course not. And I was like, of course, I thought the same thing. I'm like, I'm thinking, sitting here for my own wedding, like, you got to think about the people I pick, and I'm picking Brian and Pat because I feel like everyone knows, one, they're my bestest friends, and it makes sense, and I wouldn't pick anyone else. But on top of that, it's like everyone I know knows that those two I've known my whole life, mostly. So it's like the comics should know that too. Like, and there's a lot of comics invited, but it's like going to be a thing
and I do feel like there was a little bit of, I have a lot of best friends, I think, that if we had bigger parties knew that they would have been up there, and she had some people in her life too that was like that, but and then nobody was, well, maybe they were weird secretly about it, but we also did a lot of things to like incorporate them a little bit, even though we didn't do a bigger wedding party. So
that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, our first dance we did, like, we danced to our song for a little bit, and then the people in the wedding party joined us to a different song, and then our parents joined us to a different song, and then we had everyone who we would have probably had on our sides had we had bigger parties join us, and then it went
so
back.
Now I should feel insulted.
Now you should feel insulted.
Okay,
yes.
I'm just joking. I actually was thinking about that because
you like know all of them.
It was
like
it was
cousins
happening.
And my best friend since like freaking second grade or whatever. It
was really funny because Mary Lou was like, "Should we go out there?" And I was like, "No, I don't think this is our turn, Mary Lou."
We did pick up a couple of extras, which we like our neighbors just joined us. Though. But oh yeah, that was hilarious. But most people understood that like this was part of it. Even the DJ kind of announced it. Like he was like, if you're part of this, you know, here's your time, but if not, just hang out and watch.
I
And
had a
some
really-
people like didn't hear that. So
I had a really fun time. The only thing that was a bummer for me was I was recovering from my really bad cold, and I just was
Yeah.
like, I can't even dance. I feel out of breath. I'm just like so dead.
you know, it was funny because I felt like, I don't know, at weddings sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, the bride and brides or bride and grooms, whoever, has to walk around and like talk to everybody and stuff. And then I was like, oh, I'm just gonna dance. And so I just danced for like 3 hours.
That's the way to
because
do it.
because then people would come up and like dance with you and talk to you a bit, you
Yeah.
know. But then it was like I didn't have to, and I didn't want to miss out on that. Like that was really fun. And I felt like I got to kind of talk to every group and joke around with every group that way, because it was like, oh, I'm on the dance floor if you need me.
The only minute detail that is so insignificant that I was like, I wonder if Monica chose this or if this is something that was weird that happened and they noticed. Your DJ had DJ ADHD so
Oh
bad.
my God. We
It was
noticed
like
too.
a minute of
When
a
I know-
song and then
I
they
know that
changed
Mary
it. And
Lou
I'm
was like so mad about it, but
which is a thing at weddings. Like I've seen that before where DJs play like a song
mean,
for like a minute, but I'm like,
yeah.
just play the whole fucking song, dude. You got
So-
time.
What he did, which was kind of okay, I guess, was every song that we had actually requested. And like we put people's requests, some of them we went through and picked the ones we didn't like and took them out. But we put people's requests on, and then we had like 10 songs that we for sure wanted him to play. He played all of the whole song for those. But then
and
other
he
stuff
did
that he
songs.
chose, he really shortened, which was weird. It was annoying, you know, like you get started and then
It would just
died.
feel like it would end. It was
Yeah.
good for my health, honestly.
Mary Lou
me
was
being out of
so
shape.
mad at that. She's like, this fucking guy, and then just
Although-
like walk out this.
In the plus column, great chicken wings. Like I was impressed because they weren't crispy. They were definitely like braised
Mhm.
chicken wings, but the buffalo was perfect. And then the ranch was also perfect.
Right.
And
We
they
actually
melded together.
had a big thing with their ranch because we were like, do you guys make it yourself? And she was very adamant that they made it themselves. We had like the most compliments on the food. Like everyone was
food
like,
was
it was so
good.
good. We
The
did
tomato soup was
small
good.
bites. Yeah, we didn't get any of those because everyone ate them all.
I didn't get a sandwich. Apparently they came with sandwiches too.
Yeah, it was
and
supposed
they
to be
ran
a
out
little,
of sandwiches.
little sandwich and a
I
tomato
got
soup
a
shooter kind
soup
of.
shooter, and that was
Yeah,
it. No
that was it.
sandwich. But I had the pulled pork, and that was good. I ate a lot because I was on Weight Watchers,
Well,
and I was
good.
still am. But I'm like, this is my cheat day.
I
So
mean, we
went
still
ham.
ended up with some extra stuff, but the whole point is to have people eat it all. So
The mini pies. Get the fuck out of town.
this is the food section of the wedding review. Yeah.
I review everyone by that's the one
we
thing.
don't really
I'm,
like cake. She loves pies. Why not? Let's get mini
That's the
pies.
thing I'm nervous about for our wedding because we don't have as much control over the food. We have the menu
is
we
it
pick,
like part of the
but
venue?
it's part of the venue, and we have no idea how it's going to turn out. And there's not like really a sample day, so I just hope it's good because
Yeah.
if it's bad, I'm going to be really bummed. I'm going to be like, this is something that I really care about, that I think people care about at weddings. Is
Yeah.
like,
I
if
mean,
the
as long
food's
I
good,
would say tell them what you want, because I think
what I really want.
they want to know what you actually want. If they're good at their job. We actually had quite an issue with the bartenders, but the food,
Oh, the
like,
guy that was like the bartender that was helping out from the company.
it wasn't him, it was the fucking owner, but they like didn't do anything that we asked. We asked them only to serve alcohol from just the cocktail hour. They just kept serving it. Then they stopped serving the keg. Like I asked for beer at 9 and they were like, they're not serving them anymore. And I was like, oh, it must be out of it, which I was excited about because I was afraid we were going to have too much. And then the next day we had half a keg full and I was like, well, what happened? And somebody's like, oh, they ran out of cups. So then when we talked to him about it, he was like, no, you're lying. That didn't happen. And I was like, what? Like, why would I lie about it? Why would that help me in any way?
Weird thing to lie about.
It was it was fucking annoying to the point where we just got like fed up and we're like, it's between you and the venue, which clearly they're like friends with the venue. So I was annoyed by that. But part of me is like, I want to like put them on blast a little bit and be like, don't use these people. But every meeting with him that we had, he was like in the car. Like, I don't think there's any way he was like writing anything down. So if you have special requests or whatever, like make sure that they know that, because, and then so I take the keg back to our friend Dane, and he's like, oh, I feel like, I explained it to him. I was like, I don't even know what happened. They ran out of cups. And he was like, I've never even heard of that happening. I was like, me fucking either. Like, I don't know. And I'm like mad about it because everybody really liked the beer and we picked a specific one that we really liked. And then we couldn't keep
mango
serving
one?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, the mango
And
one's good.
it's a mango lager, which is great because most mango things are IPAs, which is too heavy. So it was like delicious. But and he was like, okay, well, I'll get it out. I'll put it in growlers for you, you know, which I thought was very nice. And then the whole keg was oxidized by the pump, and I don't know if they did that and it wasn't supposed to happen. Like he was surprised by that too. So I'm like, they really like fucked everything.
They really
up there.
fucked everything up. Was
Which
that
is
the bartender
annoying.
guy or his boss? You mean?
Well, I think the bartender guy was just dumb and young and maybe just doing whatever. What I honestly think happened is he doesn't want to get in trouble. And so
He's trying to like
he's just
cover his
denying
ass. It's a
everything or
CYA
something.
situation.
And we told the guy that we were like, look, I mean, maybe nobody has till this day, no one has explained what happened. No one has told us why they stopped serving the keg.
What's
why,
stupid to me is
like-
you're spending a lot of money to
Yeah.
have a bar. That's what
And then-
that's the problem. It's like it's something you can be mad about because you're paying them a lot of money to do this.
Well, and they for sure made the drinks wrong because we have like 4 bottles of bitters left.
And that
and
didn't
we
add up with the
bought
volume. Yeah.
4, like it doesn't make sense. And then yeah, whatever. So which at the time I was like, fuck it. Like people were getting shots and stuff, and I was like, I don't fucking care. Just, you know, whatever. But it's this aftermath of like being shitty about it and all this stuff. And then he was even like, oh well, my bartender did a great job because he got the most tips he's ever gotten. And I was like, yeah, we have good people there. Like, what are you talking about? Like it was just, he had the oddest arguments and then like just wouldn't back down. And I was like, I don't know what you want, because I'm just not spiteful enough of a person, but it is still bothering me that I want to be like, don't fucking use these guys. This is what happened. You know, everyone give them a bad review, those kind of things. But this was the only people that we didn't pick.
Well, hey, what's the name of the bartending company? Let's do it right now.
All right. It's Emerald City Cocktails.
Emerald City Cocktails.
And the owner's name is Neil, and he's a real fucking ass.
And he's a
So,
real fuck.
Yeah, look at
Hi,
that. A little
I'm
behind
a big dumb fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, but I just don't, like, I get it, because everybody else was small business, either woman owned, person of color owned, something. Like, we were very intentional about who we picked, who we wanted there. We didn't want bigger companies because we knew this type of stuff would happen, of like getting lost. They're not a big company, so we were like, okay, and our venue had already worked with them, whatever. And it just didn't go. It's more of like it's the afterwards of like bullying us into giving them a good review and stuff like that. I'm like, why would we do that? It just, that was disappointing, and it's annoying because everything else I felt like was great.
But it just didn't go.
So I have this odd, like, tainted air about it because of that. Because then you're like, oh, and then the drinks, and you're like, oh, the fucking drinks, like that.
Dude, here's the 1-2-star review of there. First of all, there wasn't great communication in preparation for our wedding. This is on Yelp. Kind of difficult to get a hold of, and multiple emails out before getting a response.
That was 2 stars?
Yeah. However, nice. Neil was very helpful in creating a menu. On the day of the wedding, the bartenders forgot to bring the water dispenser that was required.
Yeah.
The one dispenser for the event, and didn't seem concerned about it because there would be water during the dinner. One of our groomsmen then had to Amazon Prime water bottles for 100 guests. We also wanted a certain presentation for the canned beer, and the bartenders either purposely ignored it or thought it was a joke. The bartenders were good spirits, but somewhat unprofessional.
Maybe that's it. Like, they have younger, don't give a fuck type of bartenders or something. And I genuinely think like maybe they're trying not to get in trouble with him or something. But that's funny because we left him a 3-star review on Gig Salad. And then we were like, we have these other reviews we could do, but I don't like hate in my heart. So it's like, I don't really want to do that. But even then, because Aaron was like, I want to give them 2 stars, but I'm being nice and giving them 3, which isn't the worst fucking review ever. But we were honest, because I do think people, if they were going to use them, should know you need to communicate like exactly, or be prepared that they won't do what they said they're going to do. And so that's funny that they had very similar issues.
Dude, do you see that he responded to your Gig Salad thing?
Oh yeah. And we took screenshots and sent it to the venue, because that's what I'm talking about. It's just like bullying, like trying to get you to take it down. He was like, oh, one bad review can cost a small business thousands of dollars. And in my head, I was like, oh, you want to see how much it can cost you? Like, why are you attacking us? And so, because honestly,
Please
if he
consider contacting a business directly for any concerns before posting criticisms on the internet for perpetuity. You can, like, that's just such a fucking,
right?
like, if you did a bad job, you deserve a bad review.
Yeah. What's the point of a review system if not? But also, it wasn't bad. Like, it really wasn't that bad of a review. Anyways, so then whatever, he's like telling us to take it down. And I didn't respond. He's like emailing Aaron. And I go, oh, you can tell him if he had explained what happened, apologized, I would happily take it down. But because he chose to attack us, tell us we're lying, which what would this benefit us in any way? We're not taking it down. And so we told him, we were like, yeah, we're not going to take it down now. And it's between you and the venue now. And so part of me is like, well, we still owe him a Google review. And I need to be nice enough because Aaron's like, I have screenshots of all this if we want to be like, this is what happened afterwards too. But I don't know if I'm petty enough. I want to just let it go, but it is still like obviously kind of
I
bothering
love
me.
the idea of us getting petty about it though.
I know. It
Because
is kind of fun.
Because at first I was like all sided with the business on this kind of things whenever someone was a dick in a Yelp review, but I'm slowly learning it's just both sides of the coin. Like
Yeah.
some business owners are also just fucking assholes.
They are
like,
assholes, but also like read the reviews, like that's what I do. If there is a lower review, I read it because it's like sometimes for restaurants, especially, they're like, the food was absolutely delicious, but this one staff person, you're like, okay, well, that doesn't help me decide if the restaurant is good, or whatever. But then, and some people like have one bad experience and then they give 1 stars, which we weren't going to do that. We gave 3. We were going to be honest about what happened, I don't know. So yeah, actually like reading reviews is helpful than just looking at numbers, I think. But it's like, I don't know. I was so fucking irritated.
It makes me realize that like I think the best you could do then is to just tell everyone not to use this company. That's really what it is.
Okay.
Because
on my other podcast, I had been like, oh, you can message me. I'll tell you who they are. But now I should just like say
you should just say don't use this company. They sucked. And then the owner's being a dick about it and just saying you're a liar when he's wrong and just not even thinking about it.
I mean, so maybe there was a miscommunication, but tell me what it was. Like, it's the fact that he's not, like, obviously we're not lying and that is what happened. If he can't give us the reason that they stopped serving the keg, just tell me why he stopped serving the keg.
This guy's also like really responds to every critique.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's one of those people that responds to every critique. He can't just take a critique.
It makes you look crazy.
It's a personality trait. Yeah, it's this guy being able to take a critique. It's fucking awkward. I'm looking at the Google reviews and everything that's not 5 stars, he responds with, well, actually, like it's something.
Yeah, I don't understand. And then who's like, I don't know if you're reading those, you're going like, well, he responded and then called them liars. And it just doesn't make any sense. It's like, why would people?
The best is this one from 3 weeks ago. I suggested this vendor to a client, which I received a quote through Gig Salad. I asked the vendor to send a quote, and he has this whole thing, and it goes, "Okay, boomer," is the response from the owner. Didn't even listen to him.
Oh my God, this guy. Well, that's funny that happened 3 weeks ago because that would have been right before, or no, that would have been exactly around the same time. So he's probably got a short fuse because, well, clearly this is becoming an issue. His communication skills are not good. Anyways, Emerald City Cocktails, do not use them.
Yeah.
What a turd. Anyways, so that was kind of
this
the
guy's
only
complaining. Okay, sorry. I was reading this, really like speed reading this real quick. The guy in the review is complaining about not getting a deposit back.
And he said,
even though they
boomer?
had not signed a contract, and his response was, "Okay, boomer."
That doesn't make any
You're
sense.
taking this people's money, and your
That's
response
so funny because
okay,
I haven't
boomer?
looked into it at all because it was so irritated
You
by
can
the
also
situation.
file a Better Business Bureau thing. That's not. It doesn't really do anything. It's a slap on the wrist, but he'll see.
But
it.
at least they need to know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think I would, but maybe that person should, especially if you're not going to
if
get
it's
a
a money
deposit back.
thing, that's more of a if it's a money thing, it's more of a Better Business Bureau. But if it's just this guy calling you a liar, he's just a dick, and you need to tell everyone you know that not to use his company. That's really what it is.
Honestly, just because like I liked our venue a lot, so I'm actually kind of disappointed that they seem to be kind of buddy with him. Like part of me wants to email them and go, hey, this is like
this guy's kind of
really
being a
gonna
piece of
bother
shit.
me.
Yeah.
But
he just the fact that he's just denying something that they stopped serving beer at a certain time.
Well, and that was the other thing
so it's
that
like,
we kept saying. We were like, it wasn't like somebody else came up, like I was the bride, came up and asked for the keg that I paid for, and they were like, nope, you give me a Bud Light, can of Bud Light instead. So that's why I thought, it was like, oh, it must be out. Nope, they just decided to stop serving it. I don't know. Can I have some explanation for it? Everyone that knew there was still stuff in there said that they had said it was because they didn't have cups. The caterer had the glass cups, right? So they cleaned up. They were supposed to have plastic cups, which they did for the water and they used for wine and stuff and the cocktails, but didn't have plastic beer glasses, maybe? I don't know, but that's their fault for not bringing them. Like, there was so many. I just want to know what
You know what I'm
happened.
realizing? I got beer.
Mhm.
I got the pumpkin beer.
Mhm.
And all the beer was served in glass cups. So they
Yeah.
definitely didn't bring cups. If
Yeah,
they're supposed to bring
because
plastic
that was
cups.
just the water goblets, the wine glasses that were actual glass, and the beer glasses the caterer brought.
This is riveting podcasting
I
material,
know
by
it
the
really
way.
is.
But honestly,
I'm
it's
really,
funny
really
because I've just completely I mean, I haven't flipped. I'm still most of the time on the side of the business when you see
Yeah.
a review that's absolutely ridiculous. But this guy is going after legitimate
It's
criticisms.
so funny that we hadn't looked at any of the other websites. I hadn't
He's
looked at
being
the other
so
reviews.
he's just a very insecure
And the way,
man.
because that you saw what he said to us, but he also emailed us separately and like yelling at us saying like, take it down, all this stuff.
No,
Like,
leave it up then. Fuck
Oh
him.
yeah,
I'm about
that's
to
what we
write
said.
one.
We were
I'm
like,
about to
nope.
write one myself just because
Do
he's
that.
being a dick. I'm about to
Yeah,
be like,
just
hey,
well,
my
you
friend
could be like, I went to a wedding.
went
that
to
they
a
were
friend's
serving.
wedding and this guy's being an asshole and he's crazy. So
Yeah.
here you go.
I'm fine with that. But yeah, it just, well, that's not that I didn't anticipate there being other people that stuff like this would have happened to, but I was like, what if we are the only one who's given him a bad review because he's bullied people into it? I was like, man, I kind of feel bad, but I definitely don't now if he's doing this to everybody.
No, yeah, he's doing this to everyone. It seems like anytime there's a negative critique in any review, he writes a long thing, and like not even a long thing. The fact that the guy complained about money and his response was "Okay, boomer" is just a
That's
dick
fucking
move.
nuts.
Yeah, that's just a dick move to the point where I wish I could comment on that and be like, "You're a business owner, and
That
you
was
just
the thing. I
responded with
wanted to
okay, boomer."
comment on his response to us and be like, no, we're not lying, and that definitely happened. You did run out of cups. Like, I don't know what. Anyways, so that was kind of the only like.
I almost want to post next time you do a wedding, make sure you bring enough cups and just leave it at that. And then just have everyone we know at the wedding post that on a Google review and just see it, because they'll get taken down by Google eventually. It's fine, but it would really piss him off in the moment.
Yeah. Well, because I don't know. There is part of you that wants to be like, you need to learn the lesson of like not trying to bully people. Like if you
yeah,
come
this is
to
just
someone
bullying
nicely,
shit.
they probably we would have felt bad, but like it's the aggressive response that was like, oh well, now I'm not gonna fucking help you.
And trusting your young bartender who clearly made a mistake and is not owning up to it.
Yeah, and maybe ask him about it.
And
like,
ask him, but you just say, "Oh, he got the best tips."
Okay.
I tipped him $20 before he even served me because I knew he was a wedding bartender.
That's so funny because we said that too. We were like, yeah, that's great. We have good, like everyone there has worked in the service industry or whatever, or is a comic, like we know what it's like to need tips. Of course, tip them. That's great.
Yeah.
It wasn't because he was doing an exceptional job.
It was just because he works on tips, we're guessing, and you don't pay him enough. So that's why we did it. You fuckface.
You don't pay him enough to remember cups.
This is just
They
like
also
the Pokemon
didn't have their own
Charizard
tap.
episode. It's firing me up.
They were supposed to have their own tap too, and they didn't, which is lucky that Dane brought that one.
Yeah, Dane brought it, and he was like, "Make sure." Yeah, he called me, and I was like, "I'll make sure it gets back to you." But yeah, that's
well, no, we were very worried about it. Then they were like, "No, this is the one they used," and I was like, "Oh yeah, okay." So either they didn't bring theirs or had their own but didn't use it, which is fucking weird too. Like, anyways.
Well, if anytime someone goes, "I'm going to get married," I'm going to send them a message and be like, "Whatever you do, don't use this bartending company
unless you want to be called a boomer,
because the owner's a fucking nut job. So don't do that."
What the fuck? They have like these little open houses. And he's usually there making mocktails, and I want to go and be like, "Don't fucking use this guy."
Just walking with a megaphone. This guy's company sucks.
Okay, but then we'll end on a happy note for that. Is that I had a great time dancing with everyone. I know quite a few people left and stuff, but we did end the night by going to Cowgirls, and we had these sweatshirts that my aunt made us that said "Married as fuck." Married AF on them, which was great. I do recommend if you have maybe a dress that you cannot sit down in, change halfway through. into
that was a pro
something
move.
else. Yeah, so we changed into jeans and these sweatshirts that said "Married as fuck," and then you could see our sneakers because we wore sneakers with our dresses. You could see our sneakers better. And then we went to Cowgirls, which, if you are not familiar with the Seattle area, kind of like Coyote Ugly. There's a bowl and people dance on the bar and stuff. But so then we got to watch our friends and Aaron's younger brother ride the bull. It was great. One of my friends, you know, Kiana.
Oh, I know
Her-
Kiana, your cousin.
Yes, her fiance, Buddy, is he's just the sweetest dude. And he's so nice. And I felt like he really kept it together during the wedding. Like maybe Kiana was drinking more at the wedding and he was
Kiana was going after
she
it.
was having a good time.
I
But
saw it.
oh, a lot of dancing too. But Buddy was like, you know, he was having fun, but kind of keeping it together. And I don't know what happened once we got to Cowgirls. He rode the bull, which was great. But then for the rest of the night, he'd come up to me and he'd go, "Do you want to ride the bull? Because I know a guy. I know I can get you on the list if you want to ride the bull." Like he just kept telling me that.
I
and
have
was
a
like,
bull
"I'm
guy."
okay." Yeah.
I have a bull guy. You want to
It
ride the
made me
bull?
so fucking happy.
It's like the Pawn Stars, dude. I got a buddy in bull riding.
Yeah, I got it. I know it, dude. It just was so funny to me. And then, yeah, to watch Troy rode the bull, Aaron's younger brother rode the bull, some other friends of
great
hers
stuff.
from Bakersfield. Yeah, it was fucking like the perfect end to the night. And then, if I don't know if we get naughty, we did not necessarily consummate our marriage because we were drunk, but we had a huge bathtub. So we took a bath and we filled it up, right? Not thinking about the fact that two people were going to get in there and
it overflowed
all the way all over
Classic
the hotel room.
bathroom.
Yes.
Classic bathtub debacle.
And then I had to, I put all the towels on it and there wasn't enough. So I had to take the robes from the room.
It was a fancy hotel too.
It was a
because
very
Katie
nice-
was staying there with her friend for a conference that weekend. Did I tell you that?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah,
know
they
that.
stayed there for a conference.
They were at ours at the, we were at
the vintage thing.
oh,
whatever
I
it's
think
called.
that's the one that my parents and stuff were at. We
yeah,
were at
that's
the
Monaco.
Monaco.
It was the one that your parents stayed at.
Yeah,
because it was
which
the
that
one
was
that
cool
the
too, but
yeah, but she stayed there because they do a thing where they have a theater conference every year and they go somewhere and get like an Airbnb. And she's like, "Well,
Yeah.
I'll just get this hotel." And I'm like, "Yeah, do that." Then I just took her
That's
back there
hilarious.
and I went home and I was just went to sleep because I was honestly so gross feeling like it
yeah,
wasn't
if you're
great.
so sick.
I
but
also
yeah.
drank pumpkin beer, which made it not better. I thought it would, but it didn't. So
It's delicious though.
it is so
um,
good. It was more
I do think we
sour
have
than the
one
other
of
one
the-
was. I like the
Mango. I feel like I want to have one now, just despite the
it takes two to
Dum-dum
mango.
bartenders.
That's the name of it.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm mad for you. I just don't know what I could do as a person because if I put something up there that's not a verified customer or whatever, it's just gonna get taken down. So
Yeah,
how
I
do
don't
you
know. I
get
mean,
revenge
It
on a
wasn't. I don't know how they
company
would have.
where the owner is a monster?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
It sounds
Yeah.
weird planning it over
Comment
something
ideas,
so
you know.
petty as cups, but maybe what we do is the next Patreon episode, we look up revenge ideas.
Okay.
Does that work?
Yeah. Let's do it.
That's
let's
we'll
figure
we'll
out how to actually
Google
get revenge on this
company revenge
company.
ideas, and then that's something we'll do in the next Patreon because we
Well,
need to do
'cause
two.
we've
We need to do a
heard-
September and an October.
We've heard other podcasts have issues with maybe a restaurant or something, more well followed podcast, but then the reviews will just be flooded with stuff, or their social media or whatever will be flooded with stuff because all the listeners say stuff. We don't necessarily have that power. We love you.
And most
Bugs and
restaurants don't
Huggalos,
deserve
but
that. But this guy,
No, yeah.
based on looking at his responses to the people that have problems with his company, it's an issue.
I
It's an
mean,
issue.
if I had read that one you just read us with the OK Boomer thing, I would have been like,
I can
no.
I can
What the
send
fuck?
you that Google review by
I
the
mean, I
way.
don't need to see it, but I trust you. Okay, we'll do revenge on, but let's all just remember how fun it is to watch someone ride a mechanical bull.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
It's
That's
a good
good.
time. And
Well-
happy marriages or whatever. But
The charity this week is you should go watch Monica's special. It's
Yes,
free.
very
It's
easy,
on
free.
YouTube.
Big Stepdad Energy, or you can just type Monica Nevi Full Special, any of those things, Helium Comedy Studios, it'll come up.
And with that, is there anything you want to say to the listener before we go?
I love you so much.